Oh, hi. Farmer Justin here. Welcome back to Nearby Nature. I was just taking a very close up look at the sunflower and looking at the patterns that I can see inside of it. I was this week on episode 2 of Nearby Nature. I thought we could take a close look at some of the beautiful colors and shapes that we can see in leaves at this time of year. And I really want to encourage you to get outside into your yard and look for some kind of a beauty to find in nature. And it can be something that you could paint, something that you could draw, maybe something that you research or want to write a story about. There's so many different ways to find beauty out there in the world, and I hope that you get a chance to do it too, and maybe come make a little bit more understanding about the world around you. Check this out. Long ago, a party of hunters was roaming across the wilderness when they spotted the mightiest bear that they had ever seen. The hunters chased the bear, pursuing it throughout the summer months. When fall or autumn came, the bear had reached the end of the world, where the land meets the sky, and in desperation it leaped off the edge and fled into the night sky, hoping the hunters dare not to follow. One of the hunters looked down and realized the earth was below and said, "He's leading us into the sky. We must turn back before it is too late." But it was already too late. The sky bear had led them too high. At last the hunters caught up with the bear and killed him. The men piled up maple and sumac branches, and on those piles of boughs they butchered the bear. As the blood dripped down, it stained the leaves of those maple and sumac trees, and that's why those leaves turn red in the fall. The hunters then stood up, and all together they lifted the bear's head and threw it away to the east. Now, early in the morning, a group of stars in the shape of a bear's head will appear low on the horizon in the east just before daybreak. Next, the hunters threw the bear's backbone away to the north. At midnight in the middle of winter, if you look north, you will see a bear's backbone there, outlined in stars. And all throughout the year, if you look in the sky, you can see 4 bright stars in a square, and behind them are 3 other stars. The square of the stars is the bear running, and the 3 behind it are the hunters pursuing it. In our culture, we call this the Big Dipper. Those stars move around and around in the sky together all year long. They never go to rest until one day the hunters will be able to catch up with the bear. This story about the creation of the Great Bear constellation is from the legend called Chasing the Bear from the Meskwaki people. Within the story lies an explanation of why some leaves turn red in the fall. Although the legend is beautiful in its own way, the real reason for leaf color in the fall is far more interesting and quite beautiful, but it's something I don't have time to talk about today. So instead, I'd like to focus on some of the beauty that we see in the shapes, colors, and patterns within the leaves. Oftentimes we think of leaves as being a single color, like a green or a red or a yellow, but really as the chlorophyll leaves the leaves and reveals all these underlying beautiful colors. You can see on this one these fantastic veins that are yellow within the overall red of the leaf. Or here on this maple leaf, you can see the colors changing in blotches, in little sections, almost like little chunks of color are changing at a time, with these nice green veins, 5 veins coming off. Notice that maple leaves have 5 lobes or 5 points to them sticking out, and different types will have further little miniature or lobes or points between the major points. But notice that on a maple leaf it's 5 points, and this one shows the 5 green veins coming out from it. In my yard there's an ancient apple tree that produces a lot of gnarly looking apples, but next to it is this golden reddish maple tree that comes in at this time of year. And then meanwhile, waiting in the background, there's several beautiful tall oak trees that produce huge amounts of acorns every year, but the oak trees will take a little longer to start producing their color. Colors really pop this time of year. The purples are deep and the yellows are so bright. If we go back to looking at our sumac has this beautiful, deep crimsony red color with these leaves that have a unique shape to them. These are a little bit droopy because of the cold nights we've had, but they're these elongated leaves, and they go from this green to the yellowish red deep color. This is called a staghorn sumac, in part because the stems of them are really soft and velvety like the horn of a stag might be. It's pretty cool what we can see when we start looking closely at nature and leaves specifically around us. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.